Debt is bad. Avoid it at all costs. That's what most people are taught, including myself, from a very young age. But here's the truth, and most people don't hear this. When it comes to debt, it is the absolute reason why we are seeing record profits. When it comes to banks and financial institutions itself, debt is not the problem. Debt is not the enemy. The problem is the methodology that people are using for debt. And in this video, I want to teach you how to turn debt into a wealth building tool the same way that banks do it, wealthy families do it. It is a very proven strategy, a very repeatable strategy, and it isn't about getting rich quick. I really focus on this channel that a lot of things that I teach is long-term wealth building. It is about being disciplined with investing, long-term building of wealth that actually works. So if you're new here, guys, my name is Dennis. This is my finance channel. I've spent nearly 20 years in the financial industry, and my goal is simple: help people build wealth, help people understand these terms that we talk about when it comes to financial literacy and education, create passive income, giving you time and freedom back. So I've watched, and personally, I have been key in destroying people's debt, getting rid of debt, rebuilding credit scores. I have watched accelerated debt go kind of crazy. The difference is, how exactly is debt being used? Now, when it comes to most people use debt to consume. They use credit cards to pay all of their bills. They use credit cards to supplement their income. If you're making 100 grand a year, chances are you're spending 120 or $130,000. So it is above and beyond what they do to keep up with their lifestyle. Car loans for vehicles that are the biggest depreciating asset in the market, they lose value. If you drive a $50,000 car, take it off the lot, chances are you've lost about $8,000 to $10,000 right off of the bat. Credit cards are absolutely horrible when it comes to the interest rates, even personal loans to patch financial mistakes. I see people that credit cards get out of hand. They go to personal loans. Personal loans start getting out of hand, as well as credit card debt. Now we start doing consolidation of home equity. That is bad debt, guys. When we look at bad debt, in the way that I classify bad debt, in the way that I explain it, produces no income. When you look at debt and when you look at credit card debt, you are just losing income. You are losing your time, loses value over time, drains your cash flow. A lot of people don't understand the burn rate of cash flow and how much money they need to cover all of their expenses. And of course, it steals your future, and it steals the future earnings, because that is money that you cannot invest in the entirety. Every dollar that you spend in interest on bad debt is a dollar that is never going to be invested, that is never going to grow, that is going to be stolen in time from working your 9-to-5 job. That's how people stay stuck. Even if you have a great income, chances are debt is taking about. So when we start thinking about wealth, and this is kind of the difference, the wealthy don't avoid debt, and they avoid really the unproductive debt. When you think of assets, if you can use debt to appreciate assets or buy assets, generate cash flow, create tax advantages, that is where debt can actually be used as a tool. Banks don't fear debt. They absolutely build on it. You can borrow money cheaper and lead it strategically to earning a lot more income, which I'll talk about in just a minute. You can leverage it to grow your balance sheet, which is exactly what I did. You don't need to be a bank to really think this way. You just need to stop thinking like a consumer that is using debt to really build it and really accelerate the amount of money that you're losing. So the exact same framework. Step number one, eliminate the toxic debt. This is not optional. When you look at high interest credit cards, when you look at personal loans, when you look at the lifestyle debt, it has to go. It is absolute financial quicksand. It is going to bury you faster than anything you can. Before you start leveraging or having any of the clean debt we're talking about, to use it to stabilize cash flow, to build a basic emergency fund, it is not discipline. It is about being disciplined, not about the punishment that we see. Now, step number two for this, using low interest debt to buy assets. Now, this foundation is solid, and this is something, again, it took me about the last 10 years to really realize this and shift to the offensive. Strategic debt. We are talking about using debt to buy assets. When you look at businesses, when you look at cash flow investing, when you look at real estate, this is something that you can do, and something you can do incredibly well. And I'll tell you in a minute exactly how I did this. Here's the rule to remember. Debt must either increase your net worth or increase or produce more income. Then you actually pay for the debt. If it doesn't do it, and if it doesn't do both of those, doesn't belong in the plan at all. Now, step number three, let the assets pay the debt. This is where it changes. Instead of using your paycheck to repay the debt, you are using the asset to repay the debt. Rental income can be used to pay the mortgage, Business revenue can be used to pay the loan. Even looking at investments, if they're earning income, can generate enough money to actually pay off the debt that you're using in the entirety. Over time, this is going to be a result of your debt decreasing, the equity increasing, and the cash flow again increasing in the entirety and improving your cash flow. And really, eventually, the debt is going to disappear, the asset is going to remain, and you can compound wealth. Now, perfect example of this. When we look at the margin that I had on my M1 account, I actually borrowed $100,000 to invest that $100,000 into two ETFs, the QDTE and the XDTE. If you're familiar with Roundhill, they are two income-driven zero DTE, 0 day to expire, covered call option ETFs. Now they have been generating on that $100,000 that I invested roughly about $2,200 to $2,500 a month with the $100,000 in debt again that I borrowed. Now on that debt, I'm paying about $400 a month. People might think that's kind of crazy to use the debt to make that $400, but like I said, the income, the investment itself is generating about $2,200 to $2,400 a month, meaning I move over my 400, still having that 100,000 borrowed, leaving me about $1,800 to $2,000 a month that I invest in my growth portfolio. It is a way that I am rebuilding this and kind of recycling it. And even now, what I've done is taken $1,000 and put it down on that debt every single month, even if it's a little bit lower. So half of the income that is generated from that asset is going on the debt. The principal is coming down, the interest is coming down as well, and I still have that asset in the entirety. Now, step number 4 of this, an asset grows and the debt shrinks. That is building the equity. The more that I am building that gap, the more I'm using that leverage between those two, the bigger that gorge, the bigger the gap that I'm building between what I borrowed in debt to what I actually owe in debt through the income generation. We're reinvesting it. We can be able to reposition. And of course, we can use it to acquire additional assets. Once I get it paid down, probably about $20,000 to about that 80,000 mark, I might even take some of it, borrow it back into that growth portfolio. This is creating a snowball effect. When we start thinking of a debt snowball, it is kind of the opposite of it. We are starting and we are building a cash flow cycle that essentially moves so fast. We're generating income without selling any of the assets that we have, without triggering any taxable events in there, which there might be a little tax, but most of it is capital appreciation that we're seeing out of there. And the portfolio is scaling year over year. Now I've been doing this for the last 12 months, which is kind of crazy exactly how it's working. So in closing, guys, debt isn't evil. Misusing debt to consume and buy things that you really don't need is where the miscorrection comes in. If debt is used correctly, debt can become a really big tool to leverage assets, not a trap that we see like people really think of it. So if this video was helpful at all in rethinking how your money actually works, hit that like button, share this video out to anyone that needs it. It helps me reach a lot of different people out there. And if you want to stay and really up to speed on some of the content focused on building wealth, and of course, the boring, proven way that we kind of talk about, make sure you subscribe to the channel because wealth isn't built overnight. It is built intentionally, and I'll catch you in the next video.